Okay, so here I go. So this is a follow-up to the video that apparently I posted the other day. And there I'm going to do a little explaining in here. I'm going to do my best, but I'm going to have helpers. So that's going to be weird, but it's going to make it easier. The video the other day, literally it was Independence Day, and I went and got my dog, which was not the plan. And then I came back home with her, and it was like, I was just like this, okay, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. There's some shift happening. And it was like, I laid in my bed, like, what do I do? What am I supposed to do right now? And it was like, nothing was coming to me. And then the ball started rolling, and it was so wild. Just in a nutshell, I will explain all this. It'll come through. But since I moved to this place in Newport, this was my finally unplugging from Puyallup, from Washington, from my marriage, from my life, from my career. Everything was gone. I unplugged. And then I came here and I went through some major shifts. I had been on this incredible spiritual journey that had taken me to places and to levels that I could not have imagined. And I am sharing all of this stuff is in everything that I've written, but I'm not going to do it all now. What I'm trying to share today is that, all right, is that coming here, it cracked me open to where I'm supposed to be. And that cracking me open, because I am somebody who, for those who don't know me, for the last few years, I've only lived my life by literally following guidance. I don't make to-do lists. I don't make a plan for Saturday. It's like things that do come up that are exactly what I need to do. It's in my calendar. I do it. But everything else, it's like I'm like open and I know when to go and I do it. And that has taken me on a journey. Unbelievable. So I'm channeling something outside of myself now. There's something, and everything that I know what it is, it's my higher intelligence. It's me without the middleman. The man in the middle is eliminated when I'm channeling, because the man in the middle got to get kicked out of here, because the man in the middle, who is Cari, Cari, everything that Cari set up to go through in her lifetime, her horrible childhood, her horrible first marriage to a man who was emotionally abusive, all of this, it's like she got through 30, it was like 30 some odd early years of the hell. And then it was until she was like 35, her hanging on to that victim card, that discomfort, that thing that we all know as our comfort zone. We hold on to it with everything we have because it's all we know. And we're so afraid once we push beyond that comfort zone, it's like, I'm scared. It's like, that's where we're supposed to go, but we hold on to being victims and being depressed and being abused because that is our normal. And that's what these voices coming through me are having me help change. It's changing the planet, some of the stuff that's coming through. And I'll get to that. But before we get into more of Cari, we're letting Cari come through. She has something she needs to share. And this is going to be the new normal for a while, where Cari is resting now because she's preparing for what happens next. Independence Day was the day we made her come out. She has been documenting, dictating so many pages day in and day out since she's been here, that there's been some really big stuff that has come through that she can't go back and look at it because her human brain cannot process the stuff that's coming through her. So that's why when she dictates it, it goes from mouth to Google Docs, and that's where it sits. And had she known she was going to be having a lot of really big nuggets that we needed to extract, she would have done more of a system of how to save things. But now she's putting the date on top of every day. And then every dictation that comes through that day, she knows where to find it. Because if you know Google Docs, date created doesn't exist. Date modified does. Pause. Need water. So in her Google Docs, she's got hundreds of thousands of words that she's dictated that we now need to get out in the hands of the people who need to translate this and to get it out to whoever needs to read it, because it did not come through her. It came through something much higher. She could not have made this stuff up. She can't even read the stuff she dictates. So we had to out her. We had to make her come out to her neighbor, Elaine, just because it's a protective bubble that she's in, and Elaine is also protected, but she needs somebody here that just, when they see weirdness going on, they just go like, so that happened. It won't make a big deal. So we will get back to Cari's story and what we're doing. We need to get this dictation. We outed her on the 4th of July. We had to inflict pain because she agreed to this. Cari and her family, all the pre-life planning, pre-birth planning that we do, people, this is real true stuff. She and her family agreed that Cari would help pull them to the light, to open their eyes, to just look and see that, oh, there is something more to this. But she hasn't been successful, because talk about two people with their heads buried in the sand. So she's done everything she possibly can. And she's realized she can't do anything else. I mean, she's done all she can possibly do. So she has to get out. And that's why on the 4th of July, the agreement was they're going to do the Spock grip. And it was comical because she can eliminate the pain. She doesn't have to feel it because we're coming through. We let Cari be gone. So when they do the Spock grip, it's just saying, okay, come on, John and Hannah, we agreed to this. Okay, they're doing it now. Okay, guys, it's time, right? And they're like going, oh no, like la, no, we don't want to know. And then ironically, what Hannah doesn't know, but her dad does, is it happened again last night about the same time. She was sitting, all of a sudden she had the Spock grip, and she's like, they're not, it's like, nothing is going to change. And so that's why all of this has been shown to Cari, that everything she's done, they're where they are, and she can't do anything about it. So now, here she comes. That's where the tears are coming, because the story's coming. My dog is dying. She's 13. She's a white golden. And I made a promise to her and to my cat Coda that they would not die alone, that I would be with them, that they will have the best exit of this earth ever, because they are animals. I can't explain to them. They don't understand. So anyway, I love my animal. I love all animals. Anybody that knows me, it's a problem. I speak for them. But so she is dying. She's hurting, but she loves me. And so I've been here with her for 3 months. I've stopped my life. I leave only when she sleeps. When she takes her nap, I'll go for a walk on the beach. I don't spend any time there. I spend no time anywhere. I don't go out. I am here for my dog, because when I'm not here, she's looking for me. And every time I come back, she's moved, and so I don't leave her. So my ex was coming down to the Oregon coast. He was going to go to his cabin, and he's going to take her for a week so I can, and there was so much crap that unfolded that made her not be able to do anything she hoped to do. But she's used to that. So he was coming down for a week, and he was going to take their family dog, and he was going to love and protect and have this dog by his side for 7 or 8 days. So Cari could just be free for a minute. That's all she wanted, because she was coming back, and she realized too, as the time was getting near, because she knew guidance would tell her, here's your tickets, here's this, you're going somewhere. Guidance didn't tell her she was going anywhere. She's pretty much staying close to home, which kind of told her what she didn't want to know, but she knew. Yeah, she hoped to have some time just to not have anything she had to think about. So he came here, and we loaded up the dog. We spent time together, and then off she went to Yahats. So at that moment, I'm like, I'm free. I haven't been free. So I grabbed my phone and I sent a text to a friend of mine in Yachats. And I said, hey, anything happening in Yachats tonight? And he said, I'm at a party. Come on down. I said, okay. And I grabbed some stuff. I grabbed some wine and I got in my car and lots of layers because who knows what the weather is. And I went down and I joined him at the party. I had the best. I've had 3 incredible, I'm talking universal, magnificent, like we're talking bigger than the cosmos experiences happen in my life. And they've all happened in the last year and a half. One of them was the guy I met in Sedona. He was here to connect me to divine. Pretty big, and it happened. Then the next one, he brought me the biggest gift ever, and I met him in Virginia. And then this guy, there's something about us. We don't know what it is. There's an attraction, but we don't know why we're supposed to be connected at this point. So we just connect when we can. And this night was magical. It was the most fun night I've ever had. It was like I was a free spirit. I had nothing holding me back and I was authentic. I was living from my true self. And it was so funny. The dog, when I got to the party, the dog that I've met before, this dog liked me. This time the dog was like, it was a big boxer, looking at me like, just never couldn't, it was like just staring at me like, you're here. It was wild that the dog couldn't, and they're all going, come on, play with your toys. The dog could not. It was hilarious. I know secrets they don't know. So anyway, then we went to a party. We went to another party where there was a live band. And then the guy I was with, he plugged in, he played an instrument. It was like, it was magic. And then we ran down to watch the fireworks, just everything about it. It was like, it was the 2 of us and nobody else in the world existed this entire night. And it was wonderful. And then I went back to Newport. The next day I was going to go back to Yachats to see my dog. And I love Yachats. So I was going to go walk it around. So I went there and I saw my ex and I saw my dog. And I knew he was going to go out to dinner. But I said, I'm going to go walk now. And then I will come back and be with her. But I didn't want to have him leave and then me leave her again. So I figured him leaving, no big deal. So I left. I went for my walk and I said, I'm going to be gone a while because I knew I was going to have a lot of opportunity to walk. So when I came back, I got to the cabin and the sun was directly on the A-frame, the glass. I unlocked the door. I opened it. I walked into this fully illuminated cabin. There was 2 blinds closed. The one that wasn't was where the sun was coming in. Our 13-year-old dog was laying behind the couch, panting. This house was so hot. The windows were cracked and the fan was on low. It was like I was ignited. I was this free spirit for not even 24 hours. And I walked in and I thought, this is so normal, but it was like, she's dying. She's old. Could you not make any effort, to make her comfortable before you serve yourself again? And it was just like that. It was like, once again, he fused, he snuffed out my light. I was this bright, shining light. I was free. I was loving my life. And for the last time, he snuffed my light. So I took my dog and I got out of there and I don't ever want to see him again. This man is poison for me. He is such poison. I have stuck around for so long and I have been such a gift to this family. And I would love to share some of the stories and they wouldn't believe me. But one I'm going to share because it just shows who I've been married to I've been with for almost 27 years, but I am not anymore. When his mother had breast cancer, she had never had surgery before, and she was in Pullman, never had surgery in her life. And I said, John, don't you think maybe you want to go over there and be there for your mom? You know? And what does he do? Hey, Mom, so do you want me to come over? Yep. And what does she do? Of course, she says no. He never went. But where he showed his colors was we were there for his dad's 86th birthday. And he was in the cabin in Yachats and he was dying. He was sick. and his old mother was taking care of him. So we were there for his birthday in May, and then we went home, and then we came back for our 4th of July holiday. Prior to this holiday, I'm talking to his mom, and she is telling me some of the stuff she is experiencing by holding up his dad, helping him, doing all this stuff. And I said, well, Barb, and I talked to her a few times as I was commuting to work. I said, when we come for the 4th of July, John is staying with you. And she knows her son. She said, no. I said, Barb, really? He is? She goes, John? I'm like, Barb, trust me. Your son is staying with you over the 4th of July. He's going to help you. She just like, I can't believe it. I'm like, it's all right. So I told him, and I told our daughter, like, yeah, you're staying with your mother. I don't care if you like it or not. It's what we do. So we went down for the 4th. Hannah brought a friend. We went to the Silver Surf where we unpacked. We brought our bags in. Hannah had a friend. John brought his bags in. I picked him up. I put him back in the truck. He brought him back in. I put him back in the truck. I said, get your ass to Yachts. So he hated it, but he did it. But once he got in the door, he had to step up, and he did. He just did not want to. He had no reason to. It's like, why should I? What's it? The whole theme has been my entire life, the Palmer men mantra, what's in it for me? And every man for himself. And that's why I'm glad I'm out of this family. I can't be in a family that treats women the way they do. And, those stories are for later. So he snuffed her light for the last time. And now she's moving on. So she'll stay here with her dog. And when her dog passes, which is soon, when her dog passes, she will have that same freedom. She will have that same feeling of freedom that she did that night. She will feel like a butterfly, and she will fly, and she will soar. And this man will never affect her again. He can't. She won't let him back in. She will not be punished by this man one more time. So while Cari is in this transition phase, what this transition is she has received a lot of information, but it doesn't stay within. It is all transmitted onto her dictation. This dictation is going to continue. She's receiving information that is very critical that people need to see. And she's also been guided to get all of these things she's documented, get them all together and have them published immediately, calling it, this is your first book. She has another book that's almost ready to go that is a magical, beautiful, unbelievable story that unfolded when she went to Sedona, Arizona in May of last year, looking for clarity. That was just the beginning of what came through for her. She found, well, she made her way to God. She met God. She didn't know God existed. She never went to church. She's met God, and that is all in that book that is now going to be her second book. The first book is going to be all of this dictation, which has to get out in the hands of the people. And that's why for her to go through this transformation, now that she has gone from being a closet channel to she had to come out, and now people are going to look at her differently. She's going to be seen in a completely different way. The bubble around her is going to be very solid, and she knows it. But her old life, we're helping her transition from the old life to where she's basically being reborn into this new existence, this new place, to where she is a channel, she is a vehicle. She's going to have information that people need to hear, and she is here to transform lives. Another thing Cari found out today during her bath, we make her take baths because she really chills and calms down in the bath, is she never called herself a writer. Ever. She did not think she was a writer. She was a speaker. She was going to be doing all these things. But what she didn't realize until we showed it to her again is since she was with her ex-husband in Ohio, this woman has written nonstop documenting every step of her journey. And all of the documentation has recently landed here at this place where she lives when her child brought her a box that was left at the house and she opened up this box to find printouts and journals that she'd kept over the time of this horrible part of her life. And all of this stuff is going to be able to be published to let people know at any part during the journey that she was where you are. She was suicidal. She was depressed, anorexic. People thought she was anorexic, and she saw a fat girl in the mirror. I mean, as messed up as you can imagine. So for those people, like her daughter, Cari's daughter, looks at her mother and sees her as this strong figure because that's all she's seen. She didn't know that in the 6 months before she met her dad, she was still just getting off of the heels of taking off her training wheels, leaving a life of being a victim, being an abuse victim, being a torture victim, just having a horrible experience, everything about it. She's been where you are, suicidal, depressed, ate her pets, watched her pets be killed and still had to eat dinner, held out over a helicopter out of a helicopter over the dam and told you be quiet. She has had a horrible life like all of us have. We have this stuff we come here to do, but we come here to get through it. And the reason Cari is where she is she got through the childhood. She got through the horrible marriage. She got through being a victim. She threw away that card. And every time she dropped a story, it catapults you to a new world that is millions of times better that you could not even imagine. But we all choose to hang on to our simple, stay stuck self. We hold on to the toilet. We need to let go and trust that we are here on a journey to get through this stuff, not stay stuck. And she got through everything. And that's why she's where she is. Her work is done. She's got a youthful, healthy body that is getting youthful and more healthy every day because she can't have illness. She now is on a vacation life that once this transition is complete, she's going to have the easiest, most blissful, happy life. But we have to let her be on the back burner because this transition is like re-entering the orbit. She has to be protected because there's two sides coming. There's so much going at her. She's going to be protected. But she's got this. We've known it. She is strong. She is going to come through this, and she's going to have a lot of words that are going to help change lives. But all she knew is she had to have a Spock death grip on her shoulder to get her to come out. But now that she's out, and there's nothing more she can do about it. And she's not going to worry about fancy videos and fancy music behind it because none of that matters. It's a matter of getting this stuff out there. And so that stuff can be done with assistance down the road. She says every day, I need an assistant because she's going to need one. She's not able to go weed her yard. It's like, it's a job that humans do. It's like, she doesn't have to do that. She's here to have fun. So we're going to make sure of it. So you're going to be hearing a lot more from Cari. And she is never going to let her light be snuffed ever again. You can count on it. There was a new epiphany that Cari had today that made her sick about mankind. It really did. In her conversations with God, she said, I need to do something that people will notice. They will see a difference in me, and then they're going to wake up and they're going to pay attention. And so she said, let's reverse aging. Let's start taking away these lines. And she's actually seen the work. And if you know law of attraction, believe it, you're going to see it. She believes and knows she can reverse aging. And so she's noticed like dry patches. And then as they go away, the skin is tight around her eyes. But it hit her today. This is going to bring her emotion up big time. That as shallow as this world is, if Cari was the poster child for, look, my thoughts turn back aging. Everybody on the planet, if I sold a bottle of water and said, this is what I drink, they would be lining up. I would be a multimillionaire selling my water, because that's how shallow we are, because how we look is everything on this planet. That's how shallow we are, how we look on our selfies because of this piece of shit that we all have that we think we need to have. And she realized her ex-husband would be the first one in line to buy that water. That man is in the mirror, always, constantly. So she realized that that really can't be what it is, because she wants people to come to this information, but not with an expectation. Because guess what? If you come here believing that if I do what she's doing, I will be able to get younger again too, you won't really believe it. So that's why it won't really happen. So I'd be happy to sell you water and tell you, if you believe it, that's what's going to do it. Because if you really believed it, it would. But you'll never buy it. We're sick. We are a really sick world when how you look is everything. That makes me sick. Well, Carrie didn't realize while she was going through the marriage previously with her ex in Ohio is that all of this stuff she was writing and dictating, all of the notes she's taken that she's not a writer, is because we intervened long, long ago, because we knew this experience had to be captured. So she did not know she was working with higher intelligence. She just started writing and in cursive too. So she might need somebody who can translate, hieroglyphics.